Courtney Courtwright. Thanks for joining me for 9 on the positive side. An artist who recently moved to Kinston from Tennessee got a crash course in the city's rich basketball history. And now he's connected to Brandon Ingram and his family.
I'm actually a huge sports fan, and Brandon Ingram is actually one of my favorite players.
Joshua Blankenship is just one of Kinston native Brandon Ingram's many fans. The star NBA player has a huge following.
Painted it out of an appreciation for being a fan of Brandon.
It's the reason behind this painting that took 15 hours to make.
I didn't even realize Kinston was where he was from, but as soon as I figured it out, I wanted the community to have something to be proud of.
So he shared it on Facebook, and word got out.
Somebody had sent me the picture, and I loved it.
All the way to Brandon's dad, Donald Ingram.
He has the ideal likeness of Brandon. He loves art himself. He loves the big game of basketball. So there's a lot that goes along with that picture with Brandon.
As fate would have it,
Brandon's family reaching out and acquiring the piece is much more than I ever expected.
The painting ended up in Brandon's hands.
To see Brandon take notice to that particular painting and his joy, that was really satisfactory for us.
This photo of the two meeting getting a lot of attention. It has more than 650 likes.
Definitely one of the coolest things that's happened so far in my art journey.
When he left from here that day, when he left the painting, when he got a chance to meet Brandon and I saw the smile on his face, to us that was overwhelming, even to us.
The Ingrams loved the painting so much they bought it.
I'm extremely proud and happy that the Ingrams have that piece.
So we wanted to make sure that we showed our gratitude on, you gave us a gift, you painted the painting from the heart, so we want to give back, giving from the heart.
And the Ingrams also gave Blankenship these jerseys, among other things. You can see this one has Brandon's autograph, and actually this one has the words, "Thank you." For more information, you can head to our website, WNCT.com. Pretty cool story. Usually high school art students paint canvases that are displayed in art shows, but not these students in Ohio. They're taking it a step further. Check this out. Every spring, the students spend some time decorating the Paynesville Township snowplows. Yes, they actually paint the plows. You see them there. Not only is this a great opportunity for students to hone their skills, but also it gives them the opportunity to get involved in the community and help spruce up the equipment.
These plows are then used throughout the summertime at community events and parades, and then in the wintertime, of course, to plow snow.
Every year, the students come up with design ideas, and the township picks their top 10 favorites. That actually becomes part of the plows. And People and Places, our Ken Watlington is introducing us to a couple who is currently fostering a child thanks to the Methodist home. And as you're about to see, that's not all they're doing to help children across eastern North Carolina.
There's something incredible going on deep in the woods in Greene County.
It's an opportunity to provide hope.
Along the Little Contentnea Creek, just across the Pitt County line, you'll find The Refuge.
To start a camp in eastern North Carolina that would intentionally reach out to kids who can never afford to go to camp.
Now they can, and it's thanks to one couple's care and dedication.
And it's just been this incredible journey. This is a place of miracles.
Sammy Hudson is the executive director of The Refuge. He and his wife Desta work tirelessly to help children all across the area.
There's so many kids who just want a little bit of hope. And one of the things that we share with folks, if we can just show a little bit of goodness to a child, it goes a long ways.
From humble beginnings a decade and a half ago, The Refuge now offers all kinds of outdoor activities across more than 135 acres. And these old farmhouses provide about 85 campers a place to sleep.
It's really been an amazing transformation. I remember our first summer of camp, we had a tent and a porta potty. And so as each building comes out here and it gets more and more, just beautiful.
We came up with this idea of moving these old farmhouses out to the camp and having volunteers renovate them. And it was just this incredible opportunity.
But it's not just these old farmhouses getting a second chance. In addition to helping countless children during camp, the Hudsons became foster parents years ago.
The hard part was we realized very quickly that we were not equipped.
Thankfully, they got the help and resources they needed with the assistance of the Methodist Home for Children.
They listened, they cared for, and really equipped us to do what we do now and prepared us to be full-time foster parents with what we now have as Maria in our home.
She's taught me a lot of things I can work on. But also she is a very smart young lady and she loves animals.
And that love for Mother Nature comes in handy when 12-year-old Maria helps out with the campers at the refuge.
I normally help with fishing because kids won't bait their own hook.
So they don't want to do that?
Yeah, they don't like touching the worm.
Maria isn't afraid to bait the hook, and the Hudsons aren't afraid to step up and help, whether it's one child like Maria or the hundreds they host at the refuge every year.
There's always a child that needs a little bit of goodness, and so if you desire to show a child a little bit of goodness, there's a place here for you to come help. Call us, come see it, come ride around the golf cart, and let's show you what God's doing out here in this place.
And that powerful piece was by our Ken Watlington. For the full conversation with Sammy and Desta Hudson, check out the latest episode of Ken's People and Places Extra podcast. You can listen today on the WNCT Podcast Network or wherever you can get your podcasts. Raising money for the Methodist Home for Children. That was the goal for the First Chance for White Pants event. Hundreds came out for a night of food, fun, and more at the Hilton in Greenville. It's all to help raise money and awareness for families in need here in the East.
If you come to Methodist Home for Children, that it's not simply a matter of you coming for training, that we will walk with you every step of the way, and we answer the phone. And if you're calling because of a teenage tantrum by your foster child at 2 a.m., we will be there. And we also have a lifetime commitment to put anyone who has been in foster care or adopted at Methodist Home for Children through 4 years of college.
100% of money raised stays here in North Carolina to serve children and their families. And helping those in need, the Bell Fork Road Church of Christ had a giveaway of more than 40,000 pounds of sweet potatoes right here in the East. The church teaming up with Society of St. Andrew for this event. One church member says it means the world to her to be able to give back to the community.
I feel blessed. I feel honored by God because it's the only way we could do it, because I mean, I am a people person, and helping other people, that's my lifestyle, and I just enjoy it.
Henderson says the church offers food distributions throughout the week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for anyone who might need it. And speaking of helping those in need, a special day on the Diamond helped law enforcement in Kinston raise money for a cause called Battle of the Badges. Check it out at Granger Stadium. Both the Kinston Fire and Police Departments grabbed their bats and gloves, all to support one local man, Jonathan Manning, who has stage 4 cancer. Even though there was some friendly competition on the field, they say the purpose of the game goes well beyond a final score.
We just want to let Jonathan know that we love him, and that he's fire family, and he's police family, and he is city family, and that's what matters.
Now, this was the first year for the Battle of the Badges, but both departments hope it becomes an annual event here in the East. And here's another community giving back. The giving just keeps on going. In Greenville, Fleet Feet teaming up with Joy Soup Kitchen to serve hot meals, give wellness checks, and shoe fittings to those in need. Some people even walked away with a free pair of shoes and socks to go with it.
We just want to get people on good shoes. So like I said, the biggest thing for us is, again, we want to serve the community. That's part of our motto, is serve. So we want to serve the community, empower, educate, be respectful, and we will be of service to everybody.
And if you want to learn more about this giveaway, head to our website at WNCT.com. A North Carolina icon is on full display in his hometown. Just ahead on the positive side, a look at the impact Andy Griffith has. Plus, one woman is redefining what it means to break barriers in the art world, how a Charlotte artist is making an old art tradition into something new. Welcome back. Andy Griffith's larger-than-life personality is now permanently on display in his hometown of Mount Airy. Chad Tucker takes us to the town that inspired Mayberry and where townfolk are painting the town.
mean, I probably didn't get as much work done the week that he was here painting it because I was out here watching him a lot.
As an artist herself,
I don't think you ever really get used to how striking it is.
Lizzie Morrison has an eye for talent.
I have just never seen anything like his talent level and knew that if we were going to do Andy, had to be done by Jax.
Greensboro artist Jax, known nationally for his work, taking a wall, a blank canvas like this, and evolving it into this.
It's breathtaking.
But to see someone able to achieve that level of hyper-realism with a spray paint can, it just really blows your mind.
The many faces of Andy Griffith in his hometown of Mount Airy.
Fans of Andy, whether they're fans of the Andy Griffith Show or of Matlock or of any of the things that he did, can find the face that they most closely relate to.
And for this hometown artist, now director of downtown Mount Airy, she came up with the idea to paint the town.
Biggest thing ever happened in Mayberry.
It's a valuable tool to get people moving through the district and also to tell the story of who we are in Mount Airy in a big, visible way.
Real big, big.
Barney's right. These big, real big canvases, highlighting everything from the town's natural beauty to blues legend Melba Houston, and now Andy.
So I think it really does a great job telling the story of Andy Griffith and really relating it back to home.
Because for locals who grew up in this all-American town that inspired Andy's Mayberry, they know this place is so much more.
And I think for a lot of people from here, Mayberry is more about small-town America than it is about a show.
In Mount Airy, North Carolina.
You can't help but look at it. It's just so amazing.
I'm Chad Tucker.
What an amazing piece. A Charlotte woman once thought the business world was her calling, but she's now working to take an ancient form of art in a new direction. Let's take a look. This is Lauren Puckett. Puckett is a stained glass artist working to change the face of the game for that art form. It is already has a lot of history, but she says her glass is full of possibilities.
When you work in stained glass, it's almost reverse puzzle making. So it kind of lent to my curiosity of how to make things fit. And I really wanted to see new imagery and new representation in glass that showed new visual images of women, all races, all shapes. I wanted to show some of their cultural backgrounds.
In doing this, she wants to break down art barriers for everyone. And speaking of art, one high school senior took a magical approach when designing her prom dress this year. Haley Scotch, not only a lover of art, as you might tell, but also the Harry Potter series. She made her dress out of 2 of its books. Haley says the idea came from being a fan and finding comfort in the series.
Whenever my parents got divorced, that was my main escape and comfort, was through Harry Potter. And I thought, well, this has to be magical.
Haley and her mom made the dress in 4 days. She plans to use it in the future to inspire others to be creative and to encourage people to wear what she's calling wearable art.
Holy cow! What's going on, man?
This next story may warm your heart. Coming up, the special reunion between this little boy and the deputy who saved his life. Rebuilding Together Minnesota helps families stay in their homes by making them more accessible or providing repairs. As Reg Chapman shows us, a new ramp for a child in need has made a world of a difference for one family.
Want to go, Marshall?
A trip up the ramp in his backyard means the world to 9-year-old Marshall.
Squeal around the corner.
For years before the ramp was installed, he was stuck in the house. His only way in and out of his home was on his grandpa's shoulders.
Robert, his grandpa, pushes him up to the door there and then takes him out of the chair, and they got to stand up and he packs him. Throws him over his shoulder like a pack of potatoes.
Now Marshall has fun navigating the turns down the ramp and into the garage to be loaded into an accessible van that takes him to school and to all the activities he enjoys.
To know that we are able to allow people to get out of their homes and on with their lives, that's just the biggest thing for us, is to just that impact that we're able to give people.
Kathy Greiner is Executive Director of Rebuilding Together Minnesota, the organization that built the ramp. Its mission to help low-income families make improvements to their homes so they can stay in them.
Basically, we want to keep them in that home and prevent homelessness. So we're doing repairs that they wouldn't otherwise be able to afford, and also doing accessibility things. So keeping people from falling in their homes, allowing them to get in and out of their homes.
From putting a roof on a home to building ramps or adding a shower bar to a bathroom, anything that keeps people safe in their homes is what Rebuilding Together is all about. For this family, it helped a 9-year-old boy with cerebral palsy fulfill his dream of seeing the world outside his home.
It helps him get out of the house, you know, because if I'm not here, there was nobody that was able to pick him up and take him out of the house. So he was kind of just, this was his little jail, basically. And now this opened the door for him so he can go everywhere.
The team at Rebuilding Together is about listening and responding when and where they are needed.
And not just putting up ramps, they understand the people that they're helping, you know, and they understand their needs.
Tell them thank you.
The needs for some families to stay in their homes are many, and Rebuilding Together Minnesota is doing its part to make sure we all can take part in building strong families, neighborhoods, and communities.
It really does take a village, in this case the whole state, to keep all of our neighbors safe in their own homes.
Oh, you've gotten bigger, dude. Holy cow. What's going on, man?
This heartwarming reunion caught on camera. Kindergarten graduate Hunter Long from Georgia paid a special visit to the man who saved his life when he was just 2 years old. In 2017, Detective Duncan responded to a report of a drowning child. When he arrived on scene, he pulled Hunter from a pool and administered life-saving CPR. Now, Hunter says when he gets older, he wants to be a police officer.
Sometimes we're the front line to animals and ducklings.
To the rescue, a duckling rescue, that is. More on who saved them from a sewer drain. All right, check this out. In Illinois, Public Works to the rescue, a duckling rescue. 2 maintenance workers rescuing a mama duck and her 10 ducklings. They fell into the storm drain. Workers saved the ducks, then escorted them to the Illinois River. A city communications specialist says it goes to show Public Works is more than streets, lights, and sewers.
There's a lot of things that Public Works goes above and beyond and answers the call when need be. Where a lot of the times we like to refer to ourselves as the front line to the frontline workers, and sometimes we're the front line to animals and ducklings.
And this is really fitting. This all happened on National Public Works Week. Thanks for watching 9 on the positive side, but of course, we have one last thing to show you. These otter pups learning how to swim thanks to a little help from their mom. Have a great rest of the weekend, everyone. We'll see you next time.